Hi Professor Donahue, or whoever is watching this video. What did I learn about design? Design is about finding the sweet spot between math and science and making a product for a user's needs. Engineering is more of like the STEM side of the equation. In our case, it had to do with what materials give the best thermal insulation. Will our house collapse if there's a heavy rainstorm? Keep watching to find out. Project management, it's so helpful to have a good note taker during meetings. That's why I'm so thankful for my teammate Kathy, who's just super sweet all around, amazing note taker, really helped the meetings move and stay on track. And then teamwork. Yeah, teamwork is all about communication. When Jonathan and I initially were assigned to do the CAD, we felt a bit overwhelmed, but when we discovered that, we approached the rest of the team and we asked them for support, and they were super helpful in kind of stepping up. Tommy made a beautiful toilet, Alicia made some beautiful doors and walls, and Kike made some other beautiful walls, and Kathy made a shower, I think, maybe. Leadership, I used to think that teams only worked well when there was one person in charge, but I find that co-leadership works really well too. And I think we all had those moments of stepping up and kind of leading the team, which is great. I guess my frustrations with the project are mostly on the CAD side of things. None of us were very good at Fusion, so that was a bit difficult. At one point I did a bunch of math to try to get the roof to fit at the right angle, and I worked really hard, and somehow it still was slightly off, so that was kind of frustrating. I think just having a better, more familiarity with CAD would have really helped. Questions I have about the design and engineering process. I guess one thing I have is, how familiar are engineers specifically with the details that go into making a house, like construction, whether it be temporary homes or longer term housing? Like, how involved are engineers with the plumbing, electricity, water? Do those responsibilities fall under engineers, or is that more other industries? For example, we were so overwhelmed with the thought of okay, we don't know how electricity works in houses. Like, how do we make it so that when you turn the faucet, water comes out? It sounds simple, but it's not. And so, yeah, I'm just wondering, how involved are engineers with utilities, I guess. Why do I think the design and engineering process is important? I think it humanizes people's struggles. I think it helps us see people's pains and kind of try to solve it with science and technology. So whether or not those problems are, making a Ziploc make a crisper sound when it zips, or making temporary housing more insulating or more affordable. Insights about myself, it's very easy to just ignore the details of how to make something sustainable. I think I have a lot more respect for environmental engineers, specifically trying to balance the affordability of things with the equity, basically. So I struggled with that, and I realized that it is more difficult than I first assumed. It sucks that it really stinks that you can't make a wonderful eco-friendly product and just have it be easy. No, it takes a lot of thought to make sure that it's also affordable as well. I tried to work through this challenge by kind of compromising, and one way I found this was by incorporating one of my past passion projects, which was in collaboration with an organization called Pro Parques in Costa Rica. They basically take plastic bottle caps and they melt them and they convert them into these wheelchair accessible pathways on beaches throughout Costa Rica. And I thought, hey, what if we use that material for our houses? And what if we partner with this organization that's already doing a lot of cool work, and as a result kind of try to decrease our plastic pollution? I think I definitely experienced failure when Carla first asked us, are your building materials waterproof? And you guys, whoever's watching this, should have seen my group's facial expressions when she asked that, because I googled it. I was like, is MDF and Policio waterproof? And Google was like, no, it's not. And we were like, oh no, that's not good. We also got a zero 0%, something like that, on safety factor. So basically, they answer to, would our house keep standing if it started to rain really hard? Probably not. Not very structurally sound at all. So that was another big failure. But yeah, I definitely learned to appreciate, like I said, the detail required for house construction, and I recommend experiencing this kind of failure, because how are people going to continue to be able to build houses if people don't learn? And part of learning is failing. My strength, I think, has become work delegation. It's really important for me to feel like the group I'm working in has an equal distribution of labor. That way we can each really put a lot of thought into what we're working on. I think my weakness is probably knowing when to step back and be like, okay, we're done. Because I'll never be completely satisfied with my own work, for example. So it's hard I want to try to find that balance between consistently pushing myself and holding myself to a high standard, but also knowing when to step back and be like, okay, like, this is the finished product. The best role for me on this project, like I said, I really enjoyed at the end of each meeting being able to make sure everyone's on the same page and say, when's the next time we're meeting? What does everyone need to have done by the next meeting? And I think it really helped us kind of know what was going on, what stage we're at, and what we still needed to work on. If I had more time, like I said, I would rework the CAD so that our house would have more structural integrity. Maybe add some cross beams on the roof. This project really helped improve my communication skills for future projects. Wow, I promise I can communicate even though I can't right now. I'm better, like I said, I'm better at asking my peers for help than I was before. I'm better at kind of observing my teammates' behavior and kind of facial expressions to see if they might be feeling overwhelmed and offer my support to them with their responsibilities. What did I learn about communication? Communication is really much more effective when done in person. And even though I think people should be careful when they just want to have a lot of in-person meetings, because it is kind of a sacrifice of time for everyone to try to find those gaps in your schedule, and scheduling is just really difficult sometimes. But when you do have those in-person meetings, I think it's so helpful to talk about certain things that are more difficult online. For example, like future meeting times, distributing responsibilities, figuring out what still needs to be done, and especially other things like ideating, converging, diverging, all that fun engineering stuff. How will I apply the decision-making framework in the future? I think it'd be really good to apply it when choosing classes and concentrations, setting time-bound goals, and breaking tasks or decisions down into smaller, more manageable pieces makes it a little less overwhelming for me. For example, when it comes to concentration, maybe I can just see what little piece of environmental science or engineering or theater do I want to explore today. I think the best role for me in the near future, I would say, maybe co-leader, because I still have a lot to learn in terms of leading and just being a team member in general. So if I could help someone else lead and learn from them on how to listen effectively, how to distribute responsibilities effectively, that's kind of where I could see myself right now. Obviously, we had our struggles, as with any project, a lot of hard work, a lot of thought went into it. Super thankful for Carla and Professor Donahue and my other teammates for all the hard work that they've put into this course, but also this project specifically. And I'm super proud of Homey Pods and how it turned out. So, yay! Thank you.